Get in the know. Non-stop Vikings talk. It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com. Purple Daily, presented by Surly Brewing Company.
That catch alone, what it did in the moment for the team of the moment in the NFC right now. And they are. They've got the longest win streak now in the NFC. Haven't lost since that Week 2 loss to Philadelphia, which currently has Philadelphia still in first place in the NFC because of it. That was unbelievable. That's one of the best catches I've ever seen. And Justin Jefferson is one of the great playmakers this game has put on the field in a long time.
Some more national hype. Some more national hype. I'd tell Judd to get the flag, but he's actually getting his modem reset right now. We're on a strict schedule today, so we'll get Judd in here to make his predictions shortly. But this is Purple Daily, daily Vikings entertainment, where we just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl, dang it, before we die. And the show is presented in part by our friends at TCL. They have award-winning TVs for any budget, any space, all with stunning picture quality. And TCL makes more than just TVs. They offer mobile products, audio devices, home appliances. TCL, bringing you joy and simplicity through innovative technology. Learn more at TCL.com. All right, let's test him out here. Let's bring him in. Let's see it. We'll find out if his internet's really working when I hit this and see if he understands what to do. Yes, get the flag.
There it is.
You missed the Rich Eisen clip off the top, just talking about how the Vikings are the team of the moment in the NFC. And Justin Jefferson is one of the great playmakers this league has brought in a number of years. And Surly is one of the great beers all across the Midwest.
Can you hear me? Because I want to make sure that this is coming across loud and clear. Because you know what? Sometimes the StreamYard fails me. Sometimes I fail myself with write that down predictions. But the one thing that never fails me is a delicious Surly Furious, a logic bomb before I die. I could go down the list. Surly never disappoints. And as the weekend nears, I suggest that you stock up on plenty of Surly so you can watch the purple with the best beer around, Surly Brewing.
Amen. All right. Only show in America that actually keeps track with statistics of our predictions. So as all you guys come at us with, when are you going to tell us you were wrong about this? You were wrong about that. We know. And we show you the ugly completion percentages every single week on all the predictions that we make on Wednesdays. You can also hear an expanded version of Judd explaining how wrong he was back in January over on Mackie and Judd today, our other daily podcast. But this is Write That Down. Let's fire up the music here, Declan.
Most make predictions and then never admit they're wrong. Yeah, that's not Mackie and Judd. This is the place where we just totally own our horrible predictions.
Write this down.
And eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Write that down.
It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With Mackie and Judd.
And here's how it works. Unlike some of the imitators across sports media, we actually keep track of our predictions with stats. Like I said, 3 Vikings or football-related predictions every single week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of completion percentage and touchdowns. And listeners, if you'd like to participate, you can send us a message like Nick did. Send it to Declan through the Score North app, and we'll get you scheduled at some point. Declan with a commanding lead all across both Mackie and Judd and Purple Daily. Write that down. You have more of a commanding lead on the Mackie and Judd side, but you've had a lead for most of the year in both categories here on Purple Daily, with just, weeks remaining really in the season. Basically 2.5. We go through the end of the football season here with the 2022 prediction season. So how are you feeling here?
I feel good. People mock me for, XFL-related predictions and CFL-related predictions, but that's all part of the completion percentage, baby. That's all part of how I am here. I'm not just pushing out predictions, year and a half, 2 years down the line. I'm making predictions that are going to come off the board so I don't get burned by them. You don't want to get burned from a last-second interception, i.e. Josh Allen, okay? So you got to make sure that you're making all the right throws at the right time so you can go back and figure out if you're going to be held accountable or not. So that's what I'm doing.
So those XFL and USFL checkdowns back in April are laying the groundwork for potentially a high completion percentage.
Kirk Cousins did a lot of checkdowns to Tyler Conklin in 2021. Now look at him now, okay? So those checkdowns laid the foundation for the new Kirk Cousins. Those checkdowns laid the foundation for a Declan completion percentage, touchdown lead in purple daily. Evolutions.
Write this down.
All right, well, let's see how Declan's strategy fared here. We'll start with Judd, as we do every single week in the accountability session. A busy week.
Not good. Everything was wrong.
Not everything. Not everything. You said the Colts, well, everything you predicted last week was wrong.
Right, was wrong.
You said the Colts will not win any of their remaining games with Jeff Saturday as their coach on Sundays.
Josh McDaniels.
He's getting fired, right? He's just not a head coach.
I think Pro Football Talk, someone had we are assuring Josh McDaniels will return as the head coach in 2023. Like, okay. All
He's
right,
just destined to be Bill Belichick's offensive lackey for the rest of Bill Belichick's career.
Yeah, he might be good at that. Seems like he's good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said Stephon Diggs will catch a touchdown and do the gritty in the end zone.
I like the prediction, though.
It's a good shot.
Yeah.
You said the Hawk will catch his first Vikings touchdown of the season. However, you did say at the beginning of the year, Greg Joseph will have at least 2 game-winning kicks, meaning kicks that put the Vikings in front for the final points.
Yep.
Last 8 minutes of fourth quarter or overtime. He did it against the Saints, and he did it against the Buffalo Bills. Congratulations. Nice job.
Thank you.
Oh, whoa.
Look at this week for old Macadac.
Oh, boy. Here he comes.
Speaking of driving the ball down the field, old Macadac said Justin Jefferson will score a touchdown on the Vikings' opening drive. That's a touchdown. And he said the Vikings will force at least 3 interceptions or snag a defensive touchdown for another touchdown. Let's go. This is the time of year where the stars come out to play on Write That Down. All right.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Right.
Here we go.
All right, listeners. Max had 3 things come off the board this week. We'll start with the bad. He said between Za'Darius and Daniil, they'll have 5 sacks against the Bills. They were good, but they did not have 5 sacks. He said Harrison Smith will have another interception from Josh Allen. Patrick Peterson picked him off twice, but no Harrison Smith. But he did say Justin Jefferson will have more receiving yards and touchdowns than Stephon Diggs on Sunday. Thought about giving that a touchdown, but I mean, I don't know. Jefferson's amazing, and he was going to have a huge game. So you guys tell me, should this have been a touchdown for Max? It's just a one-on-one player. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably need a little something.
A
Be a
little
little
spicier.
more season. Yeah.
you need to be more specific. Like how many more yards? Like 50 more yards? And I'd be like,
You
okay.
gotta sprinkle some
For-
spice
yeah.
on that prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little more specificity. All right, so knowing that I am nipping at Declan's heels in both completion percentage, and Judd is too, by the way, and in touchdowns, let's see what Declan did this week. Oh, no. A lot of red here.
Rough week for you.
You said Kirk Cousins will have a better QBR or passer rating than the starting quarterback the Bills put out there by at least 20 points. His
Yeah, none of that
statistics
happened.
were not good,
No, that did not happen.
but his competitiveness was 20 points better. TJ Hawkinson will catch his first touchdown against the Bills. We will get a "you like that." This is the big controversy over whether this was a home run or not. You said we will get a "you like that" from Kirk after the Bills game. At least we set some precedent there, I guess, with all that conversation last week.
Yeah, we did.
You said the Vikings and Bills would be moved from its original time slot,
Dang. Should have been.
and that the Cowboys would have fired Mike McCarthy by the time they play the Vikings this week, unless you think he's getting fired in the next 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days.
Big time matchup now.
Yeah. But you did redeem a little bit here in the touchdown category. You said the Vikings will record a pick six or a scoop and score. How about a scoop and just lay down in the end zone
Scoop
for a
and score.
touchdown?
Yeah,
Yep.
the definition right there. Scoop and score.
So with that, we have a new leader in both categories here. Old Macadac. By just fractions of percentage points here. So I'm at 36.4% completions to Declan's 36.2% completions. But look at Judd still, 35.3% completions.
Wow.
And listeners at 22.5. In the touchdown battle, It's 12 touchdowns for me, 11 touchdowns for Declan, 7 for Judd, and 5 for the listeners. What a battle here. Just a back. I mean, this is like that Chiefs. Well, I mean, it's like the Vikings-Bills game, but add a third team in there somehow, too, with Judd and the completion percentage.
It's like the Chiefs-Rams game. Just nuts.
Yeah, or the Chiefs-Bills playoff game last year, but then the Ravens are all of a sudden just in the game,
all of a sudden
too.
they're in the game. What are the Ravens
God, the
doing
Vikings,
here?
there's a third team on the field.
Why are the Ravens in here?
It's war games.
Yeah.
What's Lamar Jackson doing on the field, running around? Touchdown!
If the NFL, if drunk NFL came around and said, all right, we're going to add a Tuesday night game 3 times a year. It's going to be a spectacle unlike anything you've seen before. 3 teams on the field at the same time. 3 teams on the field now.
It's a showdown between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, with Lamar Jackson dropping in for a visit. No!
They are doing a new Survivor Series match for NXT where it's like it's a 25-minute match where people enter the ring, and then if you get pinned or like you lose a fall, you have to go sit in a penalty box for 90 seconds. Shawn Michaels. Yes, dude. It's this new match they're doing for just NXT. Go look at it. They're literally punishing. It's very confusing, but it's basically who has the most falls in 25 minutes, and then you get penalized too.
You should have 10 teams lined up. So the game starts with Chiefs versus Bills. But if the Bills score first, the Chiefs are off the field, and here come the Chargers now. Inside
Here
of a
comes
steel
Patrick
cage.
Mahomes.
What if
Gonna
you
throw a touchdown?
What if you had the Bills start at 120 and the Chiefs start at another 20 and the Ravens were at the 50 and they had to stop both of them scoring?
And then just figure it out. Yeah, just figure it out.
Oh wow.
Anyhow, all right, let's get Nick in here. He's our guest listener predictor on Write That Down today. Sorry, Nick. Sorry about those last 3 minutes there.
No, you're fine. I saw the NXT thing myself, too. It looked pretty cool.
It does. I don't even know what it means, but Shawn Michaels invented it, so it must be pretty awesome. All right, Nick, when did you first become a Vikings fan?
Yeah, so I actually live in the Chicago area, so I didn't have a lot of opportunities. But in 2009, I remember Favre throwing that touchdown against the Niners. The next day on SportsCenter, I missed school, and I just kept seeing it over and over on SportsCenter. And ever since then, it's just been Minnesota Vikings football. So
yeah, love it. And you got your Purdue Boilermakers up against our Gophers in the bat. They're not playing each other. They already beat our Gophers, but.
Hopefully you guys beat Iowa for us. That would be.
And hopefully you choke one of these next 2 crappy opponents. We'll see what happens.
That could happen. So.
So, all right, we'll start with Nick.
Write this down.
We'll go around the room. Nick, Judd, Declan, back to Phil, and then around and around we go. So, Nick, what's your first prediction?
Yeah. So my first, write that down. So the Minnesota Vikings will finish as the 1 seed in the NFC, and the Miami Dolphins will finish as the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Whoa. Love it. Do the Dolphins have kind of a weak schedule the rest of the way?
They still got to play Buffalo once, the Jets once, but still.
I mean, aren't they undefeated when Tua plays a whole game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, they're pretty tough to stop.
Write this down.
All right, Judley.
All right, I didn't put this on the record, even though it was my hottest Vikings take a week ago Monday now, so I'm going to put it on the record. The Vikings will sweep the next 3 games. They will beat Dallas.
This guy.
They will beat the Patriots, and they will beat the Jets. I didn't put that on. I looked. I didn't. I said it on that show, but I didn't bring it to write that down, so I'm going to bring it to write that down.
This would still, even though you're making it a game into the 4-game stretch,
Gotcha.
It would still be a touchdown, I think.
Oh yeah.
Because
Well,
these
I thought
these are
didn't
good
you
teams.
2 weeks ago make like they'd win exactly 4 of 5 or 3 of 4 or something? I thought you made a similar prediction like that. So
That's very
weird.
possible. I don't recall. I just looked
But
back.
hey, you're throwing 2 touchdowns potentially.
And
I
no-
don't recall. I don't remember. Huh.
And no, I misremember that, but I don't remember making that exact prediction.
I don't think you did.
But I definitely did not bring the hottest take onto write that
It
down.
might have already came off the board. Maybe he made that like a month ago and then
Oh,
it
that's
just came
possible.
off the board.
Yeah,
Yeah,
remember more stuff than
you
I
don't
do.
have anything like that on the board right now, so
I'm getting old.
You're
Don't
pretty safe.
Hold me to my predictions.
So, all right, over to Declan here.
All right, I want to go for a couple touchdowns
this
here. I want
down.
that touchdown lead back. So I'm going to go with at least a couple touchdown passes here. The Cowboys are now 1-point favorites, I believe. I believe the line has moved back to 1 but Cowboys still favorites against the Vikings in Minneapolis. So write this down instead. The Vikings beat the Cowboys by 7 or more points on Sunday.
Yeah, is that, what do you think, Judd? Is that a touchdown?
They're not favorites. They haven't won like any game more than 7 points since week 1.
I don't know,
Like
man.
I'm
think I need more.
specifying.
It's borderline.
I think we need more.
I mean, it's your title at risk right now, Phil.
I think my gut says, and this is kind of how we decide touchdowns on the show here. It's not very scientific, but the Vikings. Like, think about their wins this season. The Vikings wins are all like
less than 7 points,
I'm gonna let you guys duke it out.
and it's against a good team.
This is so boring.
They're not favored.
Well, they should be favored though. That's the
Well, but
weirdest
they're
thing.
not.
It's basically a pick'em game.
Yeah.
My gut says if you were to say
Put some spice on it, baby.
9 points or more,
Put some spice. Put some seasoning on this prediction. Little paprika.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna allow it by more than 7.
By seven or more is what I have. You want more than 7?
If you said more than 7,
Okay.
seven,
8 or more.
we'll allow it.
Okay, more than 7.
So you're good with that?
By
Phil?
more
Than
than
7,
points.
yes.
'Cause it's you guys battling for this title. I am all.
Why
up,
aren't you?
please.
Wait, you're only 5 behind. What are you just giving
On-
up on the touchdown
challenge.
battle?
On touchdowns? Dude, I am a check down artist.
I love how
know.
you're like,
I
I'm not
know
even gonna
myself. I'm not being changed. I'm not like Kirk. O'Connell ain't gonna mold me. Okay, I'm a check down artist.
Okay. All right, guy.
Write this down.
Okay, write this down. Everyone thinks the Vikings are going to suffer a hangover from that Bills game. They're going to come out flat in this Cowboys game. I'm here to tell you that offensively, that's not true. The Vikings will hit a 30-yard play or more on the first offensive drive against Dallas. They're going to get a big chunk, a 30-plus yard play or more on the first drive against Dallas.
So you like the script?
I love the script. Yes.
You're in love with the script.
Yep. I'm also seeking touchdowns here. So if you guys,
I hear ya.
If you guys want to put up a fight on these, I will redefine these predictions.
I take it penalties are exempt here, right? So if there's a 40-yard penalty
Yep.
down the field.
It can't be like
Okay.
a pass interference.
Pass
It
interference.
has to be a
Right.
legitimate, an actual play, a 30-yard run or a 40-yard pass or something like that. All right.
Okay.
Write her down. Okay.
Write this down.
Back to Nick.
Yeah. So for my second prediction, write this down. The Minnesota Vikings will select a quarterback in the first or second round in the upcoming draft, and they don't
Wow.
have a second round pick. So
Wow. Okay. The disrespect here. What's your? Is this sort of like a Kansas City Chiefs Alex Smith logic from a few years ago?
exactly that. You have a good quarterback who can win you games, but you sit someone behind them and let them kind of get the idea of the new scheme.
Off the record, do you think they trade up?
I think
Off
they
the
trade
record.
down and get a quarterback in the second round, but just in case it's like the end of the first round to get the 5th-year option.
I hear you.
Okay. I would love to go back and maybe we can do some digging on this if and when it happens. But what was the general Chiefs fan reaction when they were very good? Alex Smith I think he led the NFL in passer rating, like the year that they decided they were going to move off of him. What did Chiefs fans think? Oh my God, why would we not go get another position? Go get a receiver, go get something else, right? So, yeah, that'll be an interesting conversation.
Write this down.
All right, Judd.
All right, Kirk, as we've talked about throughout the course of this season, has not been great statistically, and he had I believe, his second lowest passer rating of the season on Sunday, only surpassed by the debacle in Philadelphia in Week 2. So write this down. Kirk Cousins will post a passer rating of 100 or more with at least 2 touchdown passes on Sunday against the Cowboys. So I think he's going to bounce back statistically a bit, and I think he's going to put together a better statistical performance. And I think he's going to probably stay away a little bit more from picks and certainly seeing ghosts and accidentally throwing the ball to a Bills player when he thinks it's a Vikings player. All of that will
He
allow
apparently
him.
did admit that was the case.
Yeah.
I think on
Well,
KFXN radio.
It's because he was looking. It's because the play was right,
like
and
that
then
he
he
admitted
pivots and just throws it. And it's
I thought that was a Vikings
the
player.
guy in the front.
Like,
Yep. So anyway, passer rating of 100 or more, 2 touchdown passes against the Cowboys.
Okay. This is a featured Fox game, right? This is a.
No, it's
Yeah,
a CBS game. It's Jim Nance
Oh.
and Tony
that's
Romo.
right, it is. It
Hello,
is,
So
friends.
it is a featured game, though. It's a nationally
It's a
televised game.
325.
It's
It's
not
the
a
big
noon
Sunday.
game.
Yes, the big Sunday 325
oh,
game.
boy.
And it's not a standalone because there are other games,
This
but
is
it's
a new
it's
Kirk.
essentially a standalone.
There's
Boy.
a new Kirk, boys. There's a new Kirk. I'm putting faith in here.
We get Tony Romo. Roni Tomo.
Jim, this is unbelievable.
All right, Declan, what is your second prediction?
Write this
All right,
down.
touchdown parlay in this game. Amount of touchdowns and for certain players. I think this is enough because it's very specific. So Kirk Cousins accounts for at least 2 touchdowns in this game. Dalvin Cook accounts for at least a touchdown in this game. TJ Hawkinson accounts for at least a touchdown in this game.
Easily touchdown.
For sure, a touchdown.
So,
Absolutely.
2 accounting
Wasn't gonna keep
touchdowns
going.
for Kirk, whether it's passing, rushing, receiving, I don't care. Dalvin Cook, at least 1 touchdown. Don't care how it happens. And same thing with Hawkinson, at least 1 touchdown.
Yep. Total touchdown. That's
Okay.
Yep, agreed. Okay. Write this down. So
Write this down.
this is meant to be a clock and game management contrast prediction. And again, I think this is a touchdown, you tell me. When the 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter rolls around in this game, Mike McCarthy will have unnecessarily burned at least 2 timeouts. So the Cowboys will have 1 timeout or fewer. And Kevin O'Connell will have preserved all 3 timeouts. So when the 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter rolls around, the Cowboys will have 1 timeout or fewer left. The Vikings will have all 3 timeouts remaining.
All right.
Crowd noise. They're just going to be like some dumb formation thing that Mike McCarthy doesn't account for. And he's going to be an idiot with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. So, and Kevin O'Connell wisely will preserve, especially at home. You're not dealing with crowd noise, none of that crap. Okay. All right,
Write
we're
this down.
back to Nick here for your third and final prediction.
Yeah, so my final one is a Super Bowl parlay. It is going to start with the Minnesota Vikings winning the Super Bowl, and then the Super Bowl MVP being quarterback Nick Mullins
What?
in Nick Foles fashion.
Wow, dude.
What type of illegal drugs have you gotten your hands on today?
So much, man. Okay, we need some off the record. Does Kirk get hurt or something? What
I think he
happens?
gets hurt, and they make the same run the Eagles made on us in 2017.
Wow.
And everything just clicks.
You know what's going to be really unfortunate, though? The Wednesday after the Super Bowl, when like 90% of this happens, but it's Justin Jefferson that winds it. Nick Mullins starts, he has a good game, but Justin Jefferson catches 2 touchdowns and he gets the MVP. And we have to say, sorry, Nick. Incorrect prediction.
And then you've got a quarterback controversy. Who
I-
will
I
start
am
for the
drafting a quarterback.
Who will start for the Vikings in 23? Will it be Nick Mullins?
You want to talk about clickbait and reckless speculation all rolled into one. Should we do a full episode at some point on the hypothetical of Nick's prediction and what would happen then in the ensuing 2 months?
Mullins immediately ascends to the Ring of Honor, no questions asked, while active.
Would Kirk waive his no trade clause if this crazy scenario played out? Click here on scorenorth.com to find out.
Typical Score North.
Nick, great job on your predictions here. Since you have this life-changing platform on Purple Daily, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that brought you to this moment?
Yeah, just thank my family for always. They're Bears fans, but they're supportive. They never really hassle me about it. Thank you to you guys. Make great content. Love the Tuesdays and Thursdays with Scoops. And then, yeah, that's about it. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Great stuff, Nick. Thank you, dude. Good
Awesome.
luck.
Thank you.
Can't wait to check back in on that Nick Mullins prediction at some point. And hopefully Purdue chokes. All right,
I
good
did
stuff.
not have that one on my bingo card for today's Write That Down.
I love it. Oh, man. Okay, Judd, before we get to your third and final prediction here, let's tell the audience about the official dog food of Mackey and Judd and Purple Daily. I feel like Maya Mackey has been so well behaved ever since Nutrisource came into her life. She knows if she's well behaved, she's going to get 1 gigantic scoop in the morning, 1 gigantic scoop at night, and a bunch of training treats sprinkled in. So not only is her digestive health great, her behavior is great because she stays disciplined for Nutrisource.
And there is nothing like a good dog, right, Phil? Maya
Who's a
or
good
Stella,
girl?
who's a good dog, who's a good girl. There is nothing like a good dog who knows that at the end of the day, right there is Stells with her training treats. There's going to be rewards for behavior, right? I mean, it's just like players. It's like the discipline, the culture in my house, the Zolgad house for Stella. The culture has improved exponentially since Nutrisource was introduced. That's because Stella knows that on her table or in her bowl is going to be a food that she absolutely loves. You are correct about that.
Nutrisource should make like husband training treats too, for people. Where
Think I wouldn't eat 'em?
if your wife or in Declan's case fiance just doesn't hey, you're not holding your own in the kitchen or whatever it is. Here, Judd, sit. Okay.
I
I
would
would need them.
fully endorse a treat for that. That sounds great to me. I think that's a great idea.
Declan, did you fold
Yeah.
the laundry incorrectly again?
Yeah.
Bad boy.
Did you do the dishes, Judd? Good boy. Good boy. Thank you.
NutrisourcePetFoods.com to find a retailer near you. They are a Minnesota-based company in Perham. You can find them all over the country. NutrisourcePetFoods.com. Also, a shout-out to those of us who are incompetent at fixing things around our house. Finch Home Solutions is here for all of us.
Yes, that is exactly right. They're local. They're great. In fact, my friend Cody is such a Vikings fan that after the game on Sunday, I got a video his wife had taken of him running around his house celebrating because he was so happy and he's so passionate about the purple. And guess what? He's also passionate about the electrical system in your house and making sure that you have everything up to date and as safe as possible. Finch does a great job of something that's key for a guy like me, for sure, because I can't fix a thing, which is troubleshooting in old homes. Electrical work in your home should be preventative safety. And you know what? Don't wait. Get things checked. The best part, Finch is offering a free home safety inspection to all PD fans. And be sure to tell Cody and company that when you talk to his team that you heard about them on PD. It helps us. Special deals, by the way, if you do so for Purple Daily customers, 612-357-2604, FinchHomeSolutions.com, FinchHomeSolutions.com. Remember, Cody is passionate about the purple and about making sure that your home is safe.
All right, let's get to the final lap of predictions here, starting with Judd, your third and final one.
My third and final prediction is going to be a defensive Vikings prediction for this Sunday. So despite the barbs thrown my way about me pushing predictions way down, I'm going to again come up with one for Sunday. And that is this. Harrison Smith will have an interception in the game against Dak Prescott on Sunday.
Okay.
I believe he had a streak of 3 consecutive games with a pick. He is near the league leaders in picks. Patrick Peterson had 2 against the Bills. Harrison Smith will come back and get one off of Dak Prescott on Sunday.
Kind of feels like Harrison Smith and Patrick Peterson are. I don't know if you guys heard Patrick Peterson on his podcast this week going through in detail with
great.
Which should have been several football sounders. Yeah.
Yes.
The interception.
Yes.
He almost revealed too much information if the Vikings and the Bills may play each other again at some point. He
because of the
laid
tells.
Out, yeah.
You're right.
He laid out how Gabe Davis basically runs in breaking routes, and he just picked up a bunch of stuff on film and said, "Boy, if he starts with this route concept on this play, I am intercepting. This will be a game-winning interception," and he was right. But it's on his podcast. You can find it if you haven't checked it out.
Write this down.
All right, Declan.
Are you guys? I want to make a Tony Romo prediction about the commentating on this game.
Okay.
And this might be tough to quantify, but here's what I'm thinking. So write this down. Tony Romo will discuss how this is the best version of Kirk Cousins we've ever seen.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that?
Oh, yeah.
Is that?
I'll be
safe?
glued to the whole Tony Romo experience. So this is a little subjective. It's not a touchdown because Tony Romo pumps everyone's tires, but it's a good creative prediction, and I will help you track it. Yes.
Okay. This is the best version. Yeah, best version of Kirk we've
Something
seen.
along that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I fully
we can-
expect him to say that. That's a good one.
Yeah. He'll say something like that, but we'll split some hairs if we have to. If we have to like run the tape back or something, we can do that too. All right.
Write this down.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's a Cowboys game too again. So Tony's going to be extra spiced for this one.
Got
right?
A.
It's his former
Jim.
team. It's
Jim.
Dak. It's
Jim! Oh, this is so great, Jim. You're right.
I've gone to this well 2 times correctly this season. And my gut's telling me it's going to happen again. So I'm going to go back to this well one more time. And maybe it's not even a touchdown anymore. You guys tell me. But write this down. Mr. Game-winning drive, Mr. Fourth quarter comeback. He leads the NFL in fourth quarter comebacks. He's going to do it again against the Cowboys.
It'll be 6.
Kirk Cousins. I think it'll be his 6th.
Yeah,
He's got 5 right
He
now.
already has a career high 4 or 5.
I think it's 5.
Yeah, it
We're
was
going to
4
get
last year.
another fourth quarter comeback. Write this down from old Kirky boy.
Okay.
Now, going into the year, it's a home run prediction. I still think it's a touchdown prediction. But you guys tell me. It's becoming the norm at this point. So,
Yeah, but
do I have
you've
to
got to
add
be
something to this?
I don't know. I mean, you've got to be. You still have to have the circumstances come around.
It's a
Yeah.
parlay.
Right.
They're going to be trailing in the fourth.
Yeah.
They're going to
Right.
win.
I'd say
whatever.
it's a touchdown.
Okay.
Because if
Let's
Dex is
see.
right, that won't be the case probably.
Yeah. Let's get it. Or or it's possible they could be trailing by 3 going into the fourth, and then they pour it on in the fourth, and I am right and Declan's right at the same time, which could be the case. So speaking of Kirk Cousins, by the way, let's do our weekly dive into the Ringer quarterback rankings to find out the national perception on where Kirk ranks among his peers. Now, he climbed as high as the 10th quarterback in the league like a month ago. So we'll start at the top of this list here. This is part of what are people saying about the Vikings. The number 1 quarterback remains Patrick Mahomes, according to the Ringer. Justin Herbert has jumped up to the number 2 slot, the number 2 quarterback in the NFL.
Okay.
Do you guys take any issue with Justin Herbert, number 2? He's
I feel
really
like
good.
with Herbert, it's eerily similar to watching another Phillip Rivers situation where it's a wildly talented quarterback in San Diego whose coaches or circumstances are just kind of holding him back a little bit. I think he's more naturally gifted than Phillip Rivers because Herbert is just this freak athlete and can throw just a missile 90 yards down the field.
Yeah.
But I just think his coaches and his surrounding cast have not always helped him out.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can put him as the number 2 QB. I don't know.
Well, keep
Got
going.
a little issue.
I'm
Yeah.
curious what we've got for the rest of the top 5.
Number 3 is Josh Allen. Number 4 is Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
And by the way, what they're doing here is they're grading these quarterbacks on a 1 to 100 scale with 6 criteria: accuracy, arm talent, creativity, decision-making, pocket presence, and pre-snap ability.
Okay.
Tom Brady is 5th. Joe Burrow is 6th. Aaron Rodgers down to 7th. Dak Prescott holding steady at 8th. I don't know about that one.
I don't like that either.
I've disagreed with that for 2 or 3 weeks now.
It's just,
No.
I think we're getting confused by the idea of Dak versus the reality of Dak. He's fine. I don't know that he's the 8th best quarterback in the NFL.
It feels forced,
It does.
like we're trying to make it a thing that it's not right now.
Geno Smith is 9th. Jalen Hurts is 10th. Tua up to 11th. He started the season 23rd, by the way.
I still think he should be higher.
Trevor Lawrence 12th. They moved Kirk Cousins down from 11th to 13th in the last week.
Yep.
He did throw a terrible pick or two, so I get it. But what do you think about this?
I think it's incredibly difficult to do this because the people that do this take the whole pie and try and put it together. And the reality is, if you've watched Kirk play, like to me, I put a priority on this. Do you win games and do you play a key role there? And yes, on Sunday, Kirk statistically and at times just had a bad game. But you know what he did? When it mattered most, he came through. I give him full credit there. So I guess I fundamentally disagree with trying to parse through. I think we try to parse through too much.
Yeah.
And the other thing is this. How's Tua that low?
It's interesting, right?
They're
'Cause
winning games. And yes, Tyreek Hill is good, but so is Jefferson. And show me a quarterback with no receiving talent, and you're like, well, that guy is great. I mean,
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is falling in part because, yes, he's probably declining, but in part because Devontae's gone, right?
Yeah.
And like Christian Watson popped up, and if he continues to pop up, guess who's going to go back up? Aaron Rodgers is playing great now. So, I don't think you can penalize Kirk for having Jefferson or Tua for having Hill. That's my opinion.
With Tua, at some point you have to throw out what you thought he was going to be at the beginning of the year, and if so, we're essentially dinging him for what his limitations that we perceived before the season, and we're dinging him for having great infrastructure around him now. Okay, well,
Yes.
I don't know that Tua is necessarily one of the like 5 best quarterbacks in the league, like his stats suggest, but it is just kind of weird that you would put Tua behind Dak at this point. What they're kind of saying is, well, Dak is bigger, he's got more physical ability, and he's maybe if you were just to look at some of these in these the 6 categories, you would say, well, Dak looks and profiles more like a star quarterback. Right. Okay, but at some point, he's just not. Like he's fine. He's not a guy that I'm paying $40 million to necessarily. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I'd like to talk about WAR for a second here because I think it's applicable here. So Phil, as you've explained before, WAR accounts for if I take you out, here is what a player would do of what. Just baseline talent, right?
So this is wins above replacement.
Wins above replacement, right? But if I take out Mike Trout, right? He has a huge WAR because his value is so much greater than the guy who's going to replace him. Well, I mean, the Dolphins are giving you a real-time WAR. When Tua doesn't play, the Dolphins aren't great. When Tua plays, so like we can say, well, he's got Tyreek Hill. Well, so did Teddy that day against the Vikings.
Yeah.
So like Tua's WAR to me would be pretty damn high because he is doing his job to give you a really good chance to win where his replacements don't. So like we've seen that.
Yeah, and he's doing it with like his bell rung. I feel like I don't know that he's even. Do we even know that he's 100%?
That'd be called a active concussion, Phil.
Yeah. We also have here. Declan spotted this in terms of quarterback rankings. Matt Castle, former Vikings quarterback, put together for the 33rd team. He put together his top 32 quarterbacks in the league. Let's go through his list. Patrick Mahomes, number 1. Jalen Hurts, number 2. Josh Allen, number 3. Geno Smith, 4.
Yep.
So this is way different than the Ringer list.
This is yes.
Joe Burrow, 5. Lamar Jackson, 6. Tua, 7. Tom Brady, 8. Kirk Cousins, 9. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
Justin Herbert, 10. Jimmy Garoppolo, 11. Jimmy Garoppolo gets no respect, man. Is he the top quarterback in the league? No, but Jimmy Garoppolo is like every year he's like fighting for a job, even though all he does is help guide teams to wins.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, 12. Dak, 13. Kyler Murray, 14. Justin Fields, 15. And then Derek Carr, and then a bunch of other quarterbacks. So this feels like, to me, so they've got Cousins 13th on the Ringer, 9th here. It's funny because this is the worst year statistically of Cousins' career, but I would take this version of Cousins over all the other versions because he is aggressively chunking the ball down the field in moments where he needs to. More often, it feels like. And there's some numbers out there, too. We'll go over some of this on tomorrow's State of the Offense, that since the bye, the Vikings are much more aggressive trying to get the ball down the field. And we talked about this on Mackey and Judd and on Trenches with Boone. That 4th and 18 pass, 4 defenders in the area on Justin Jefferson, including 2 hands of one defender on the ball. Mm-hmm. And underneath was a wide open TJ Hawkinson, probably 5 yards off the line of scrimmage with 10 yards of daylight. The defense would have closed. Old Kirk throws that pass, like you brought up earlier, to TJ Hawkinson and hopes that he can go 10 or 12 yards of yak before the defense takes him down. It's the safe throw. There's no risk of an interception. It's a completion percentage throw. Your numbers look great, but it's not a winning play. The winning play in that situation is taking the gamble that Jefferson's going to catch a pass 25 yards down the field, right? It feels like the KOC has him attempting to make more winning plays down the field, and it's paid off so far.
That second list feels much more grounded in present-day reality, right?
Yeah.
The Ringer list feels like they're trying to be cute. Like projections of, well, we think this or we think that, or this should be true. Castle's list, to me, is much more grounded in the present. Because, look, it might be a one-year blip, I don't know, but Geno Smith's been fantastic. I don't think you can dismiss that.
Agreed.
Back to Judd's question about WAR with Tua versus the team. In fact, because I saw Ben Brown put this out on Pro Football Focus today on his Twitter page. He has team WAR and then WAR without the quarterback. So this season, the Vikings have actually gotten the most wins above replacement from their non-quarterback positions. So guys like Zadarius Smith.
The team is elevated. Yeah.
Yes, the team is elevated. But the Dolphins as a whole have produced the most team WAR this season. They have produced 5.2 team WAR. And without their quarterback, so obviously the quarterback plays the most part into wins, obviously, i.e. wins above replacement, their WAR without Tua is 2.41. So basically, Tua has been responsible for almost 3 wins, right? Like that would be, if you remove the 2.4 minus the 520, it's close to that. So the Vikings have actually done a great job of maximizing everyone around Kirk, and I think we've all can kind of see that with our eye test, and that WAR checks out. The Dolphins have produced the most team WAR in general because they just have playmakers all over the field, but Tua is still responsible for a lot of the reason that they've been very successful.
So what they're saying is if you took Tua off that team, instead of being 7-3, if Bridgewater was the starter or replacement level quarterback, they'd be like a 3-win. They'd be under 500 right now, and that makes sense. This also makes sense with the Vikings because, again, it doesn't necessarily feel like Kirk's overall performance is better. It's not like Kirk went from being kind of a B quarterback to being an A-plus quarterback, and that's why they're 8-1. It feels like the entire water level has risen. He has risen with it, and he's been advantageous in high-leverage situations, making big plays, being aggressive when he needs to. So that, look at the guys that, we'll admit on this show, thought might be cooked. Patrick Peterson, boy, look how old he's getting. Harrison Smith, man, banged up over the years, plays a rough style of football.
Zalarius.
The Vikings.
We didn't know about
Smith. Yeah,
we didn't know about Zalarius. We didn't know,
Zalarius. It's Zalarius. And then, hell, Garrett Bradbury. We actually on Trenches this week, up today on the Purple Daily YouTube channel and podcast feed, we highlighted a great play by Garrett Bradbury on the Kirk Cousins overtime throw that put the Justin Jefferson inside the 5-yard line. And Garrett Bradbury, he starts off going to his left to block one defender, but then they did kind of a stunt or a twist.
Yep.
And the edge rusher comes around, and now it's on Bradbury to move off his original man, get over to his right, flip his hips open, as Booney pointed out.
Oh,
so
man.
Bradbury's playing better. Darisaw and Brian O'Neill are franchise tackles. They're getting the most out of key players. Yeah. And credit to Kevin O'Connell, credit to Cousins in key moments, credit to players like Peterson for just being obsessed with film study 10, 12 years into a career and rallying some of the young teammates around him. It's been fun to watch. It's fun to watch Judd lose weight, too, over the last year and change.
Fun for you, fun for me.
Look at this guy.
Fun for me, too. And guess what? You can join as well with my friends from Livia Weight Control Centers who helped me drop 40 pounds. The most important thing, too, is this. They help you keep the weight off. So it's not just a diet plan. They don't say diet. Weight control means exactly that. And the best part is right now, as the holidays approach, and the holidays are filled with food temptation, as we all know. As the holidays approach, you can say to yourself, you know what? By the time that the football season is done, let's say in February, if a team is playing in a big game and you want to go to Arizona for that game, and imagine you break out all of those summer type clothes to go there and everything fits. That's how it works. Their best offer right now available is 50%, save 50%. And now you're saying, okay, Judd, this sounds fantastic. How do I join the PD family in dropping weight? It's this simple, 855-GO-LIVEA, Livia.com. In town, they've got a bunch of stores that you can actually go meet with a dietitian. Or you know what? If you're a Purple Daily fan in Arizona and saying, this sounds good too, virtual consultation available, Livia.com, Livea.com is how you start your journey to weight loss, to being a fitter and trimmer you by the time it starts to warm up again, Livia.com.
If you're a business owner out there and you're looking for just a better partnership from your insurance company, Federated has been offering guided assistance, a navigating calmness, if you will, for over 100 years. They're all about risk management and elevating your business since 1904. Find out about these great people and the great work that they've done at federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours. Real quick, before we wrap, RG3 tweeted this out this morning. Again, RG3, whose job was taken by Kirk Cousins in Washington.
Doesn't like him.
The Vikings are real, all caps. People don't believe in them because they don't trust Kirk Cousins despite his 5 game-winning drives this year. Fine.
Oh.
Trust Justin Jefferson. Trust Dalvin Cook. Trust Adarius Smith. Trust Patrick Peterson. They are 8-1 and having fun. That is dangerous.
Now, wow.
Dude, he's got RG3 on the bandwagon.
RG3 actually, after the great Jefferson catch, said, don't give Kirk a lot of credit because the throw was so poor. So I'm surprised. Somebody definitely told him, dude, give it up. That's interesting.
This is validation.
You know what, though? He's missing the top guy. Kevin O'Connell. Come on.
There's only 240 characters, so maybe he'll send another.
Kevin O'Connell has changed. He has changed the entire tone from the start of training camp, day one. Long before there was a game, he changed the tone.
Yep. We got to go. We'll see you guys tomorrow for a State of the Offense episode of Purple Daily. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Daily Vikings entertainment. Just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.